Hey everybody, so we had some more persimmon seeds than we planted the other day, so we made some different sized air prune boxes to compare with a denser planting and a different size box. So these air prune boxes are 1 foot by 2 foot, and the boards are about 5 inches wide each, so with us stacking them we have about 10 inches in height. And you can see we've just used a ton of stuff we already had, which is our mojo. So this table we had left from when we did a lot more plastic pots, which you can see we're moving away from. And it was made with old lumber we had stacked around here, including some pallet lumber. And then we put a cattle panel, an old sturdy cattle panel on top with some nice tap-in staples. And someone gave us that. And then we have this hardware cloth from when we made an aviary for our chicken coop. And we have some left, and it's 1/2 inch. Most people are using 1/4 inch for air prune beds. But we just still have so much 1/2 inch, we can't see buying more. So what we do to keep our media in is put boxes underneath. Everybody has boxes, or you can get them for free from your recycling center, and they break down by the end of the season, so it's still real easy to harvest your trees. So we planted these all the American persimmons as well, and these pieces are just held together on each side by a strap, which will be very easily removed, and our intention is to just wheel a wheelbarrow under the table and then unbox these, and the trees will fall out and the media will fall through the hardware cloth into the wheelbarrow, and there we go, easy peasy. So we will show you that in the fall, but it's going to be real exciting to compare how these do with those over there. We obviously have a ton of room for expansion and on this table here, and then we're gonna get to see just differences in height and density. It's thrilling, yes. So let me give you just a quick tour again and remind you what's going on here, just real quick, because Steve did a lot of this the other day. So here are our big air prune beds, and we wood chipped this area this summer because we got a free load from the power guys, and we just put cardboard underneath, and then we mow the rest of the driveway. There's our solar panels that power our hose, which gets water from the rain. And I'll put a link in there. This is our setup for using rainwater, which has just been so wonderful. And then our fertigation setup is in here. We haven't used it this year, so we'll check that out again when we do it. But Steve got this all dialed in, and it's wonderful. So we have a few potted plants this year: spice bush, pawpaw, and then just some little plants that are grown in our driveway like pokeweed and ironweed and brown-eyed Susans. It's funny, once you start growing a lot of native plants, you find that they're growing everywhere, including some places that they're going to die because you're going to trample them, and you can't stand to have it happen. And so we've been finding that we are digging those up, and then we move them somewhere else, so that's pretty cool. And this is just an assortment of pots that we've had over the years, and we thought, well, let's just try them. This is our first air prune bed we made, and it is in here in our shade house because it's got sun sensitive plants in it. I'm sure you all caught what I said. This side is planted to pawpaws, and we haven't planted this side yet. We will see if we get some. We are very late this year for many different reasons, so that's another experiment. This shade house we adore. It was our high tunnel in the garden, and we just did away with that. We really didn't like the way it worked for us and all the plastic involved and the insect death trap. And so by putting this snow fencing over the top, which we already had from our potted nursery plants, it just made the perfect shade environment for these plants. And it's pretty gosh darn charming. And just so you can see, our friend made this bat. That's pretty awesome, huh? Okay, let's see. Is there anything else you haven't seen? I think you've got it. Let's just take a quick step back. There's the rest of our organic mechanics media we'll be using over the season. And then here is the nursery at a distance. So quite a bit different than what we started, which is what we find with about everything that we do. We learn a lot as we do, and we change and make modifications so it works better for us and for the plants. Potted plants are very, 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 very labor intensive, and Steve and I have a lot of other interests besides just working in the nursery, and so we're always looking for sustainability in growing and in energy, our own human-powered energy, and this is working very well. We do have those few potted plants. They're in the shade right now. They're totally fine. I'm sure at some point we'll say, okay, these got to go in the ground. And that's it. So we will keep reporting on this as the season goes on. But to say we are pleased is really not even quite stating it. This is the first year we feel like we are not drowning. And that might have something to do with a smaller garden and a less needy plant nursery. So those of you that grow, we understand what you're going through, and those of you that buy from your local nursery folks, definitely the plants are worth what you're paying for them. Sometimes they're probably undercharging. The labor is astronomical. So happy growing, all of y'all, and happy planting, and we will be in touch soon.